So I was brought up in a non-Christian family with two parents who loved each other very much and loved me, and it was a basic, it's your basic dream, and something I don't take for granted at all. And I'm still super appreciative of that to this day. They definitely gave me a sense of self-reliance, that you had to rely on yourself and that you had to have a really strong sense of self-worth. And I basically sort of was brought up thinking I was quite a good person, I suppose. So I carried on with what was expected. I went to university, I met someone who was a lawyer, good job, got married, and the rest of life was supposed to basically slot into place. 5 years on, I'm 26, I'm divorced, I'm living in London in a flat share, and I'm dating a man from a Christian background but who had lost his faith and was basically backslidden. So we were dating, and he continued to be more and more tormented, I would say. I could see it, it got more and more difficult to be in a relationship, until one day he basically broke down and said that he couldn't continue seeing me because he had tried to deny the existence of God, but just couldn't. And much as he wanted to, he didn't think we could continue in this relationship. So I was obviously quite upset about this, but also quite intrigued about this God that he couldn't deny the existence of. So I asked him lots and lots of questions. It was probably quite rude in a lot of my questioning, but he just tried to answer them as best he could. I would say at that point, my main aim was to try and show enough interest in this Jesus person to convince him that we could stay together and we could just continue in our relationship and everything would be okay. But the more I asked him, the more I realised what I didn't know about the Bible, and that all the evidence about the existence of Jesus was so strong that I couldn't deny that he existed and was real. And I was left with that question: was he either just a good man, was he the Son of God, or was he a liar? And so everything just pointed in the direction of he actually was the Son of God. This was a real person. These events really happened. And so I kept on. He showed me bits of the Bible. Isaiah 53 was one of the main ones that blew my mind. That prophecy 500 years before he was born was incredible. But the other bit of scripture that helped me in my coming to ask Jesus into my life was the measurements of the ark, because they were so boring that I just thought, who would write that? This cannot be a storybook. Like, this Bible has got to be factual, because it was so dull and dry unless you're into that kind of thing. So that was another weird part of the jigsaw. So about 30 years ago then, it would be now, I took a pamphlet that he'd given me, a Why Jesus pamphlet, and I sat in my flat chair on this bed one night and I read it, and I just felt so overwhelmed by my need for forgiveness. I was so burdened with guilt and shame and this perpetual self-justification that I was trying to do, but I knew that I needed forgiveness. So that night I got down on my knees and I asked Jesus to come into my life, and I asked for forgiveness for everything, and my life changed. And some things changed immediately, some things took a bit more time to work out, but ultimately I was completely changed. So why am I getting baptised today? Well, because no one really talked to me about adult baptism. I'd been baptised as a kid and I thought, that's it, I've done it, it can't be done again. But thankfully I was enlightened and told that I could be baptised as an adult, and I'm so happy to be doing that, because it's a decision I'm making now. And Jesus has been my absolute rock over the last couple of years. He's got us through some really difficult situations, and I want to make the rest of my life count, and I want to make him priority in everything, because he is the author and the perfecter of my faith, and without him I am nothing, but thankfully I am not without him.